Hello my friends, welcome back here with a new video. And if you remember, in our last video we have configured the static IP for all our machines. I mean to say that SQL machines. And in this video we'll show you how to proceed further with the SQL failover cluster videos or series. So the seventh step is going to be our iSCSI target and share days. So what it does is, if I click on show you this, let me also open the other thing to show you. I'm going to say eraser, and here I have certain diagram. Let me explain you with the diagram why we require iSCSI and shadows for this particular video or SQL failover cluster. Now, suppose what happens if you see here of our SQL A. So SQL A is installed, and all this config file and all other temp file, data file, and database file, all those things, log files will be installed or put in some particular disk. Okay. Now what happens is, suppose tomorrow something happened to this particular VM, something goes wrong to this particular VM, then how this particular SQL will switch back to our the other SQL, which is in our case SQL failover cluster, which is going to be configured. Okay. Now when we install something on the local machine or local drive, okay, and if something goes wrong to that particular machine, it is not going to work. You already are familiar with that, and you will be knowing that. So in this scenario, what we'll create is on the domain controller, not only the domain controller, it is just an example. So in this scenario, I'm going to create a shared disk in this using iSCSI, and I will be sharing that disk to all my three VMs. Okay, which are all these three VMs which are going to be part of my SQL FCI, as you can see here, failover cluster. So what happens is, suppose if this VM goes down, the disk will switch back to this, or this VM goes down, it will switch back to this, or vice versa. Okay, depending on the requirement, or you can manually switch. So this is how iSCSI and disk share works when it comes to SQL failover cluster, which is going to be on top of my Windows failover cluster. Okay, so I'm just trying to explain. But in this is the lab scenario I'm going to create in domain controller. But in production environment or organization, what they will do is they will have a separate storage servers. So from there they will do it. But either ways, both are similar. There is nothing much change here. The same way you have to create there as well, but I was just showing you an example here how this particular thing works. Okay, let me go back to my RDP. Let me connect here. Okay, so as you can see, so what I have to do here is, first I have to create a disk so that I can attach to my Hyper-V, and then I will show you how to create this particular iSCSI and then target it to our SQL VMs. Okay, so if you have not watched this article, I mean, so this video, you can just save this playlist, okay, for future use, or you can just visit this article as well, which will guide you step by step on how to create this iSCSI target or disk. Okay, let me minimize this, and let me go back to my domain controller, and let's see whether I have any sort of disk in this domain controller. So this is my domain controller. Okay, let me see whether I have space or not. Otherwise I'll quickly create one. Okay, so I do have local disk C. Okay, so what I'll do is, let me create one. Okay, so that will also be good for you on how to do that. Okay, so in this case, as I told, I'm going to attach a physical disk currently, because as you know, this is hypervisor. So I'll create one physical disk and attach to this Hyper-V, and so that I can mount it on my domain controller. Okay, the same way you can do, or you can also use your C drive. I mean to say this C drive, which is in our case, I think so we have enough space. We have 80 GB. So just for an example, we can create 20 GBs 3 or 4 disk, and we can just install the SQL in this particular disk. Okay, either ways, both are same. Nothing to worry. I'll show you that. So if you want to create one, right click on this, new, and then hard disk, and then I'll hit next. Virtual hard disk, then I'll just leave it default. I'll hit next. Dynamic expanding not required, fixed, and then I'll put this, let me rename this so that we don't have any sort of confusion. FCI HDD. Okay, and we'll hit next, and let me see how much storage we have on our local machine. So I'll just okay, we have enough storage. Let me go back to my hypervisor. So 127, I'll just make it to 100 GB because I'm running out of space. I'll hit next and it will be created. And once this is done, I will attach this particular disk to my domain controller, and from there I will share this particular disk to all my SQL VMs using iSCSI target. The virtual hard disk has been created. Let me turn off this machine. As you can see, it is in off state. Go to settings as I told you earlier. Hard disk 0, and we have to one particular hard disk. Then I will specify controller in use, and I'll just browse this, and I will this is the one which we just created if I'm not wrong. It was sqlbi HD, and we'll get open, we'll hit apply, and okay, done. And once this is done, make sure that you just do it for one machine where you want to store all your drives, and then share it to all the three VMs which are going to be part of your SQL failover cluster. You should not attach this particular disk in all the machines. You have to just do it for one particular machine. In my case, it is just domain controller. Okay, let me start this particular VM, and then we'll see how to create a iSCSI server quickly. Once the disk is attached, let me show you that. As you can see, it is my domain controller. So currently it is not visible. So what you have to do is you have to just look for disk partition. As you can see here, create and format hard disk drive, and it will automatically pops you up. So go with GPT partition, and it will just quickly create one partition. As you can see, it is unallocated. So we can create a new sample volume with this. Let me create one. So I'll just name this as E, and the name will be our SQL FCI HDD. Okay, NTFS, everything is perfect, and hit next. And you can see now the drive is present here, as I was saying. Okay, this is our first initial step which we are going to do. Now this drive, I will make multiple chunks, like multiple virtual disk out of it, and then we'll share across all the SQL VMs for our data disk, temp drive, and local drive. We'll talk that within a minute. Let me create that first. So once this is done in the domain controller, you have to open your server manager. Okay, so as I told, we have to install first the file and storage services. So I'll show you how to do that. Click on this, or if you are not aware, click on manage. Click on manage, and then add roles and features. Hit next. Let me put this above, and then next. And here, as you can see, in my case it is currently installed because I did it while creating the domain controller itself. But if you are not there, if it is not installed, you have to come here, you have to check this particular box. You should hit next, and you can just ignore this for a while. Nothing is required here, and hit next, and you have to hit install. So in my scenario already it is installed. That is the reason I'm not showing you. Once the installation is done, what you have to do is you have to look for files and storage, or you can just open the server manager again. Let me maybe I'll it is a bit confusing for you people. So once you open this, you can see this file and explorer, sorry, file and storage here, and under this you can find this iSCSI. And once this iSCSI is there, we have to try to install iSCSI target server to start add roles. Okay, so once this is done, we have to install the iSCSI target as it is mentioned here. Once you hit this, as you can see, we have not installed the target server. Maybe I forgot to expand that. Okay, let me quickly install this and hit next. So this is similar way how we did it from here, roles and features. I forgot, I didn't see this, so you have to install this as well. The installation has been succeeded. Let me go to my file and storage, and iSCSI, and now we will get an option to create. So what you have to do is you can click here, or task, new ask iSCSI virtual disk, and here I will select E. So this was the newly which we have mounted. I'll be going to make use of E. Select this, and I will name this as SQL FBI disk, and I'll hit next, and I'll just give a first I'm going to configure quorum disk. So if you're not aware, then you can go to my article, and you can find here the quorum disk as well. As you can see, so this is the quorum disk which we are going to create. So we are going to create 4 particular drives, and one is for quorum disk, so this will be used for our Windows failover cluster. Okay, and the other 3, okay, the other 3 will be your data drive for SQL database, and the data drive for your logs database, and the data drive for your temp database. Okay, I mean to say not temp database actually, but all the temporary files and log files of the SQL and data files will be stored in all that 3 disk. Okay, so we are going to create 4 disk similar way. Let me show you that as well. As you can see here, This is a screenshot. So as you can see, the quorum disk is of 10 GB and data drive and log drive and temp drive. So we are going to create a drive similar to this, and we'll make use of this particular drives to configure our Windows failover cluster and then to make part of SQL failover cluster. Okay. So don't forget, we have to create three disks. As you can see, we have to create three disks: data, logs, and temps. Okay. And the other one is quorum disk, and overall we have four disks. So let me create one by one. Let me minimize this and I will put 10 GB. Our quorum disk will be 10 GB. I'll hit next and new iSCSI target. And as I told, QUOREM. Sorry if the spelling is wrong. Okay, this is quorum disk, QURM, and I'll hit next. Okay, it doesn't take. Probably I have to put hyphen here, not underscore. Okay, and this is done. We'll hit next and access server. So as I told, access server, we have to put all the three IPs. Okay, the other SQL three IPs which are going to be part of SQL failover cluster. So I will hit IP and let me get the IP. So all the IPs are 102, 103, and 104. Let me put it one by one here. Okay, so I'll put 192.168.10.102 and I'll hit OK. This is done. Then again one more. So here enter this selected IP and here 192.168.10. And then we have 103. Okay, 102, 103, and 104. So if I'm not wrong, let me open and check again. Okay, 102, 103, and 104. Let me add one more, enter the value, or you can put MAC address or DNS name as well. But I'm going with IP because it is convenient for me. All the IPs has been added. So these are the three IPs which are going to be part of my SQL failover cluster. I'll hit next and we can leave it default, confirmation, and create. Okay, once this is done, it will create within one or 2 minutes. Let's wait until it creates. So we have to do the same for other three disk as well: data disk, temp disk, and log disk. Okay, so as you can see, it has been created. I'll hit close and you will find it here. Okay, this is the first one. Now we have to do for other three as well. Let me quickly start that one as well. Create a new iSCSI. I'll select T and I'll just scroll a bit down, and this is our data disk, and I'll name this as this, and this will be around 20 GB, and we'll use for our existing IPs. As you can see, 102, 103, and 104. So once you create, it will be listed here, and hit create. So this is the second disk. Now we have other two to create. The disk is been created, so we have two. One is our data disk and other one is our quorum disk. Okay, let's configure the other three as well. We'll hit target, will new, and then we are going to select T, and then we'll create this next, and we'll give name. This time it is our if I'm not wrong, log drive. Okay, let me quickly check that particular article. Yeah, it is quorum is done, data, log, and temp. Okay, let me go back to my domain controller, log drive. Let's hit next, and this is also going to be 20 GB. We'll hit next and I'll select the existing target, or you can create new one as well. That is not going to impact anything. Okay, we'll hit next and we'll hit create. Okay, so this is our log disk, and the last one is left out with our temp disk. Let me create that as well. So even this has been created. As you can see, log disk, and we have our quorum disk, and we'll just create one new which is our temp drive. So we'll hit this, we'll hit next, and this is our temp. Okay, next we'll use 20 GB, and next we'll use the existing target, iSCSI target, and we'll hit create. Okay, so all this four disk has been created now. Okay, so this is how you have to create your iSCSI virtual disk, and then in the next video we are going to see how to make use of all these four disk in our the SQL VMs. Okay, we have three VMs here if you remember. So we have mounted one particular drive in our domain controller, and we are sharing with iSCSI. All this iSCSI will be used to share our storage to our SQL, sqlab, FCI, sqlb, which are going to be part of our SQL failover cluster and also Windows failover cluster. Don't get confused with Windows failover cluster. Basically, when you are trying to do SQL failover cluster, the one of the prerequisites is that you must have Windows failover cluster. Okay, that is the reason I'm talking about that. So in the next video, we are going to see that the target which we have created here, iSCSI, as you can see here, this one, all this four, how to make use of this drives or disk in our SQL A, SQL B, and SQL AB FCI. Okay. Meanwhile, you can check out this document where I have configured one by one, and you can just visit to next step as well. After that, what you have to do it. As you can see, shared disk in across Windows Server, how to configure this using iSCSI initiator. Okay, we'll talk about this in our next video. Okay. So I don't want to make this video longer. Already this series is being dragged a bit. Okay, so but I just want to make sure that you are understanding everything. Okay, I hope you like this video, and we are going to see our iSCSI disk in our other SQL VMs. Okay, and if you have any suggestion, please feel free to comment down below. Okay, we'll see you in next upcoming videos on our SQL failover cluster.